Today's show topic is who's the baby's daddy? Did you know he was married?
Married?
Is he a dog?
I mean, she need to stay with him.
What a perspective.
That baby metrosexual. You got Beijing in the head, man. That ain't me.
You can't talk about a baby. At the service for the kid Raven, the 5-year-old that was shot. Also, we're praying for the 17-year-old who shot her because really we may lose 2 kids.
I just hope she alive.
I grew up here and it's just getting worse and worse every day with the drug dealing and the guns and everything else. They need to do something about it.
Yes, actually, I'm the CEO of Swag Nation. It's a youth advocate association.
I'm so sick of crying. I'm devastated because I lost my house. I'm sick of all this, boy. All I want to do is get away, get away.
So tell me, Alexa, what bothers you and irritates you in schools?
Well, sometimes a lot of girls think they're better than you, and when you're fussing with them, they'll consider you as white or a cracker. And I really hate being discriminated like that because I know the color of my skin, and that should not matter to nobody.
People have been calling me black. They be saying I blend into the dark, the pavement.
The young people wearing the pants down past the butt, showing the underwear. How do you feel about that?
Don't show what you don't have.
David Simon wrote a story based on Bodie's life.
Dwight, it's extremely entertaining. I enjoy myself.
Okay.
You know, and I'm the real guy, right?
We respect your life and your stories, and we know that you're going to be one of the greatest directors. What is life like being gay?
I was always secure with myself. Never had a problem getting along with other people. Certain people that don't know me tend to get a little irritated when they see me come around.
It's a shame to say that some church leaders aren't the upstanding citizens that we believe that they are. If you could find a professional, a teacher, a counselor, if you need to talk to somebody before you talk to your parents.
Actually came out with the closet after Ellen came out.
Exactly.
Please don't think, that everybody that's gay wants you. It's never that
Thank
serious.
you.
One of the things that made me turn to God, recently my son was killed.
And I think there's a fear that exists between those
and
generations that shouldn't be there. Like the gentleman said, just because I come in and I have locks, and I'm refined. Don't get me wrong. I drink wine and smoke the finest cigars. Like I never smoke a marijuana blunt in my life. But you would never be able to tell that if you never just took the time to just approach the cat.
I was building my own kingdom, right? And I met that crack cocaine, and in 7 years I lost everything. And I thank God for that, because those events allowed me to hit my proverbial rock bottom. And had I not hit that rock bottom with nowhere else to turn, I would have never met the one who could help me.
I disrespect my wife. I was committing adultery for the last 8 years. 6-pack, 42-inch chest, 18-inch arms, and 36 thighs.
Sound like me. Well, go ahead.
What this book offers is testimony and triumph.
And God has to bring you sometimes in a place of brokenness.
Yes.
Brokenness, so you can realize that God has a way of getting our attention.
I am bisexual.
Wow. Did Mom know this?
No, but she knows now. Hi, Mom.
Mom.
But
the state of Maryland has conspired with Constellation Energy and BG&E to rip off working people.
But despite what anybody say, I will always be there for him. All right. That's a man. I love him. That's a man.
Is this man and woman relationship? You are not a man?
No.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
This is a mind blower.
I'm probably bisexual. I don't know.
Now you say you don't know. Do you date guys?
What? Yeah.
And do you date girls?
No. No, I haven't.
Well, so you're confused.
No, my parents want me to be a lesbian.
Your parents want you to be lesbian?
Yeah.
That's a new one. Why?
Yeah, I know. They're like, then you won't have children, so that's good.
Pigtown John Watch is a website where we put pictures of the vehicles and or the tag numbers of the vehicles that pick up the prostitutes.
Being the lowest man on a totem pole is just should be an expression to use to help you strive to move forward and higher in your life.
By the way, this month is Black History Month, and we're going to dedicate this show to Dorothy Heights. And this is also a special day because today is my 30th episode of Shooting It's on Top. All right. Thank you so much. And I'm so pleased to be here with such wonderful and beautiful ladies. We have here India, Toya, and Candace, and they're going to do a poem titled Black Women Wake Up. Black Women Wake Up. Do your thing, ladies.
And that one moment of penetration embraced by the hands of seduction, temporarily replacing frustration with every act of persuasion on your lips. And that serenade of come get me that twirls from your hips, revealing your outer beauty just to hide your inner splits. That should be passionately stitched by the hands of one not birthed through human vagina. Wait, let me remind you, unless born of a virgin. But you've been blind and robbed by that superficial, non-sacrificial lack of intellectual currency. Can't wait for the worth your heart deserves or desires. Arrested and disrespected by lust and death, you always seem to inspire. But wait, let me remind you that this could cost you your life. In the very darkness of the shadows seems to be your playground. Where is your soul to be found but in the hands confound of an abuser? But he left no visible scars, so you willingly exchange spirits like Enterprise rents cars. But your very soul is left empty, unoccupied and empty. But the good thing is that someone planted a blessed seed, but the evil of your youth jumped too quick to receive. So you're a prisoner to pride, and you never say please or thank you for that matter. Your manners are the worst. But what should we expect? You're walking with the curse. Would you like a Prada, a Gucci, or diamond cut hearse? Because I assure you that this could cost you your life. So I ask you, you're just a mud box covered in the lavish luxuries that you misunderstood. See, your insecurities are covered by Juicy, and your afflictions are comforted by Uggs, and that Louis on your arm, I tell you that it holds no true peace, my love. But let me tell you that God's love for you was never the issue, but you just lacked his spoken truth. So you resorted to your breast protruding and you plump up your lips to tongue kiss death in the nude. But let me ask you this, who really paid the price for you?
Black women, wake up.
I know you're tired, but yawn that Jezebel spirit out of you.
Stop living in a delta dormant state of mind.
Sleepwalking into death and destruction.
Brainwashed into a trance.
Snap out of social conformity. Because, miss, there is so much more to thee.
So much more to be.
So much more that he
decreed for your life.
So step out in faith and be bold.
Blood-stained past, erase no trace of the beatings that the world left on your soul.
Because Jesus said your faith made you whole.
So black women, wake up from the worthless notion
that makes you believe that you can't exist without a man.
Black women, wake up.
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 Just because you have become impatient with God's plan. Black women, wake up because you are God's masterpiece. Black women, wake up because you are Mona Lisa. There's no replica of you, so know your value. Black women, wake up.
Black women, wake up, you're strong.
Black women, wake up, you're beautiful.
Black women, wake up.
We are worthy enough to wake up and believe that we stand here in all of his decree to leave a living testimony of he that loves us for who we are.
Yes, God.
Lord, we love you, and we thank you for every black woman.
Yes, God.
Black woman, you are worth it. Be who you are, because he will be who he is.
Yes, God.
So, black woman, wake up.
Selah.
Selah.
Was that awesome? Ladies, I tell you, that alone, you just woke up about 1 million women. They cannot be the same after that poem. That was awesome. I want to thank all of you. Wow, that was so compassionate. I mean, you're moved with emotions right now. What's going through your mind?
what's going through my mind right now. I just want women to know that it's so much more than the materialistic things and the superficial things, but basically what's inside of you. And all of us are created and made in God's image. And I just want us to embrace that and know that it's a bigger purpose than the physical, but it's deeper than that. And we need to embrace that and stop listening to what everyone has to say about us or being so concerned in things that people say about us, but know who God says we are and be confident in it, and stop comparing ourselves to other people, but just to embrace who we are and just love ourselves. If no one else loves us, you can know that you love yourself and that God will unconditionally always love you.
That's all right. And I have to ask you, because you were so poetic, what drove you to this place to care about black women?
Well, because I have been through so much as a black woman myself, and I got caught up in a lot of wanting to be accepted by people.
Yes.
And now getting a hold of myself and getting a hold of the love that Jesus Christ, gave the mercy for God to have for us, and the love that God has for us, that He gave His Son. Yes. And it just made me embrace who I am. So I know that there's a hope out there for every black woman who suffers with those insecurities of being who they are or not feeling like they're a part of the crowd, because we're not. You're different.
Right. Because that's, I have to say, part of the problem, a lot of young women want to be a part of something. And today they have now a message that they can be a part of the family of God, and they will be accepted, and they can be who they are, and they can be free.
Yes.
All right. And I have to ask you, because you were so awesome as well, what is your passion for women, and what would you like to say to other young women that are out there that are in very confused situations?
Well, I know a lot of young ladies today don't have role models to look up to. They always fall into stereotypes, or they always fall into crowds and peer pressure, and that's what really drives me, because I love my community, and I always want to be able to build them up. And if I can build them up and they can say, oh, I know her, but I know that she's a Christian, they'll feel like they can turn to me, or they can turn to somebody else like me, like my sisters up here, because we're all, a family in Christ, and they'll all always be able to realize that they're not alone, regardless. Even if they are in a situation which seems that they're by themselves, they'll always be able to look up to something that's greater and more powerful.
Thank you. Ladies, I want to thank you so very much. That was an awesome poem, and I know you touched the hearts of many women out there in TV land. Thank you. I will be right back. And we're back, and today's topic is Wake Up Ladies. And I have here today wonderful and such beautiful ladies on the panel. I'd like for them to introduce themselves. And you first, lady?
Hi, my name is Mimi Gladden, and I'm here in Baltimore. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Perry. I also live in Baltimore County at this present time, but I'm originally from North Carolina.
North Carolina, all right. Georgia?
Hello, my name is Jervelle Gilbert, and I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, but I reside here in Baltimore now.
New York, all right.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Jackson. I am from Baltimore, and I'm the CEO and founder of Maxim Marketing and Consulting.
Hi, my name's Talina Bullock, and I also live in Baltimore County.
And Miss Bullock was Miss Baltimore.
Yes, I was formerly Mrs. Baltimore.
All right, let's get a round of applause. Ladies, I am excited and ecstatic to have you here today on It's On Talk Show. This is an awesome topic, Wake Up Ladies, and you all are commissioned today to wake up the ladies. We would like to start the show with one topic, which is helping women to become better mothers and to build self-esteem. Could you elaborate on that, Ms. Baltimore?
Sure. I think a lot with one of the issues to help women become better mothers is women have got to deal with the issue of not trying to be their children's friends. I've spoke about that before. Just be the best mother that you can be. We're not perfect. Don't try to be your kid's friend. Be their parent. Deal with the issues of being their parent. Don't deal with the issue of trying to please them. Don't get into people pleasing. Stick to the boundaries. Set your boundaries and stick to them. As far as self-esteem issues.
Yes.
Self-esteem issues. We've got to know who we are and stick to who we are. Don't look for people to try to tell you who you are, or look for someone to tell you basically that what you are and what you are not. Understand who you are, know who you are, and own who you are.
Mr. Lennon, let me just mention this. In today's society, you have a lot of women that are now, because of the economic situations, they're losing their jobs, and that's breaking down their self-esteem. Even sometimes their principles and morals. What would you say to a lady that that's having a tough time right now, facing some tough time with her finances?
You got to trust God, and you've got to know that God is not going to bring you to any place where He can't bring you through.
Sure.
So once He puts you in a place, you've got to trust Him, and you got to take your eyes off of your situation and focus your eyes on God.
But not every woman is in church and really has the faith or believes in God. What could you say to someone that doesn't have faith? You follow me? Because you have that person is out there and they're looking because they are in desperation right now.
Well, one, I'm going to pray for them, because a person without God, I don't know how you can do it. And I would just basically say that you've got to know who you are, and you've got to focus on what you've got to know that there's somebody higher than you.
Right,
I don't
right.
know how you can go through life and just knowing and trying to feel that it's just you, because you just can't do it.
Right.
You just cannot do it.
Because you being Miss Baltimore, you know about Baltimore so much, and even the drug situation in Baltimore. What would you say to some women that are now recovering from drugs?
And I would say that in the 12-step program, I'm not. People that have been on drugs and things like that, in those programs, they would teach you that there is someone higher than you. The first step to recovery, I guess, that would be admitting that you have an issue and things of that. You have to admit that you have an issue and understand what your issues are. But you've also got to focus on you have a solution, and you've got to put God in it.
I would like to make a comment on what she was saying about maybe someone doesn't have God in their life and who can they turn to. A positive person can be anybody, your next door neighbor, somebody that you see that is doing something positive. You can always find some hope in somebody. You don't always have to be a religious person to have an outlook on life. And I would encourage that person to either try somebody's close to them, like a family member or a good friend, so that they can be encouraged and empowered by that person to do something positive with their life and maybe turn their life around.
That is a good point. I know for me, I haven't been able to do it without God, but I would say surrounding yourself with positive people, that is definitely another way to do it.
Right, and I would also, and you may also recommend people to maybe join the church organization or some organization neighborhood because what's going on right now, because the economy is really crazy. I mean, I heard today on the news that the government may be shutting down, and a lot of women will be losing jobs. So sisterhood, I think, is very important, because we really will probably need each other more so than we would ever imagine. How would you respond to this, Sister Vanessa?
Well, I would say that we need to maybe get back and consider more communal living, helping each other like we did back in the day.
That's right.
If I needed something, I could go to my neighbor and ask for help with that.
That's
And
right.
if they had it, they would help me, and so forth and so on. So, if once we all realize that we're not in this alone, we're all in this together, I think that will help to help us to weather the storms. Another thing I just wanted to piggyback on was the fact that we're trying to figure out, what do you do if you're not in church and you're trying to get there. Well, we all have been there.
Okay.
Right. We weren't born in church.
Right.
We had to seek it out for ourselves. We had to go through the trials and tribulations in order to understand that higher being who looks out for us and takes us through some things because he wants us to give him his props.
Right.
And until we get to that point, a lot of times we're going to go through a lot of things until we understand who God is and how he operates within our lives.
Right. And also you have a lot of single parents. That's a very serious situation here. Would any ladies like to elaborate on single parenting?
Well, I can speak. I'm a single parent too.
Okay.
But Tiff, you want to say something?
No, specifically what he would like to know.
Okay.
Well, it's. I'm just opening it up for single parenting.
I'm a single parent.
Okay. How's life affecting you as a single parent?
Okay. It's been, you know, decisions. It's all about decisions.
Right.
And it's all about making good decisions. You're not going to make the perfect decision because nobody's perfect. My daughter is now a senior at Chapel Hill. She's graduating.
Great, congratulations.
In May. So it's been a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a good journey because it's been a learning journey for her, for her as well as myself.
Yeah.
But it's hard being a single parent. It's hard because you always want the best for your kids.
Yeah.
And you always want to make sure that you're making the best decision. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you don't make the best decision, but you learn from it and you just don't do it again.
Right, because we don't want ladies to continue to make the mistakes that someone has made in the past, but to learn from mistakes like that you've made, you know. Would anyone else like to elaborate anything on single parenting?
I just want to piggyback on what Miss Vanessa also said, that it is not easy being a single parent. But one thing I can tell you, when her daughter walks across the stage, it's one of the most rewarding feelings she'll ever feel because she knows that she took part in the development of her child. I can say that now because I have a 7-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son, and I am doing the best I can. Is it the best that anyone can do? Who knows? But I know that I'm going to make some mistakes and I'm not going to do everything right. But at this point, I can tell you that my daughter is getting good grades and my son just made the honor roll. He had 7 A's and 3 B's. So what I can tell you is that I work hard for my children. I work hard to provide for them and to make the best decisions I can because ultimately it is my decision. And if something ever happened to them, everyone would look at me.
Right.
I think we should also go back to what Miss Vanessa said and start becoming a community again.
That's right.
I can
that's
remember being from North Carolina, if I was out of line away from my grandmother or my mother, it didn't matter who it was, whether it was a neighbor or somebody else at the church that knew of my grandparents. They knew that I was Josie Lee Arford's granddaughter and that they were going to take care of it. So because I was Josie Lee Arford's granddaughter, they were not going to let me because I became their granddaughter instantly. And I think that we need to go back as a community, as a church, and as a body of people to go back. And when we see children out of line, you know, sometimes, especially if you know of their family, do something about it, because it can be the difference between life and death. So I think that it takes a village to raise a child, and I just think we need to go back to that, going back to that village mentality, because we all are a part of one family, and one family in Christ, I believe. And if we are to speak it and want to walk it and talk it, we need to take part in helping raise each other's children.
I like to say something on that. Being an older person here on the panel, I also am a single mother raising, well, my children are grown now, but I can remember looking back on how when I had to work various jobs and be in school and trying to provide a home for my children without a father, you know, how hard it was for me, and how the community as a whole stepped up. My neighbors, you know, they would make sure if I was late getting home, how my neighbors would make sure my child was in the house, how they would call me, or how we would interact as a community for our children. And this is what we're missing. The whole ideal about us helping us is like it's come down to nothing now. And my main part for wanting to be a part of this show is to wake up our community, wake up our young people, wake up our older people. Let everybody know that we have to, if we're struggling as a people, we're the only ones that can look out for each other. We gotta stop backstabbing each other.
That's right.
If we see our child or some of our neighbor's child in the street doing wrong, pull that child up. Give that child something to look forward to. Let them know that it's not only their family looking out for them, it's your community looking out for you.
That's
so
right.
Just to elaborate on that, on being a young mother, which now my children grown, but I'm
It's all
just
right.
saying it's easier for when you out there pursuing your goal to have somebody in your community, somebody that you can trust with your family.
Right.
You know, like she was saying, you know, anybody in the community that knew her grandparents could come and give her a lesson of pump on the whatever. And that's how it was when I grew up.
Right.
The police brought you home if it was 8 o'clock. And now we see our children on the street midnight,
That's
1 or
right.
2 o'clock in the morning.
That's right.
So I'm just saying, you know, that was a great, you know, point about, you know, just being there for our children and being there for the struggling parents that's coming up without someone to help them. Let them know that we are out there. We're your neighbors. We're your family. We might not be blood family, but we're gonna play
That's
a
all
part
right. That's right.
as a family.
I like that. You know, I'm listening to you, and I am so supportive of women because I grew up with 9 sisters, and I've seen a lot. The women today, they're out working so hard. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3 jobs, and it is so sad that the children's fathers are not there. Men, you need to stand up and be men. Take care of your children.
Right.
You know, that is really sad. I really applaud the women for doing what you do. And you all do a fantastic job. You follow me? You're welcome. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Mimi, we haven't heard anything from you. What's on your mind?
Yes, I am a single mother, but I'm a single mother of 4.
Okay.
And so I want to speak to those who got pregnant early, teenage years, and also thought they was in love, and so thought that was the right thing to do, was to give him a baby.
Right.
I'm speaking to those with that mentality. That what helped me is that I found God. Well, I allowed God to find me.
That's right.
And so I think it do take a community as well, but also I want to speak to those that my children father is not that they're not in their life. I am a single mother, but their fathers do take care of them. So it is some that take care of their kids,
That's right.
but they take care of them being more so a provider. And so some kids are lacking a father, but they not just a father figure.
Right.
Okay, so they providing the money, but they're not helping them mentally,
Right,
emotionally.
Right.
So they cry out, and it's very hard on a single mother that's working and trying to take care of her business. And when the only thing you can do when you call the father, the only thing they can do is put money in your account. I'm gonna buy you this and buy you that. So the children end up thinking you the bad guy because you more so are the disciplinary. So they think you the bad guy because you always getting on them, and the father always buying them.
Right.
So I just believe that we should work together. I'm speaking of mother and father. Should work together, and we should also agree upon one thing, not the son play off the parents, or not the daughter play off the parents. So I think we should really come together as parents. I understand about the community, but it's some fathers actually taking care of their kids.
True.
That's true.
But I think the 2 parents should come together
That's true.
and agree upon it and stick to that, so the child can be raised right.
That's right.
That's all right.
And well, from my perspective, it's myself and my husband in the household. We raise our kids together. We are married in the household, and we still agree on the communal parenting. I mean, the communal. And if our kids out there, by all means, jack them up. Jack them up.
That's
and we
right.
going to jack yours up.
There you go.
We going to jack yours up and jack ours up because you need it. I mean, even though it's 2 parents in a household, we have 3 kids, it's still very difficult. And I commend all of you guys because I know I couldn't do it. I would lose my mind. I would absolutely lose my mind. It's extremely overwhelming, and it's so unfortunate that our society, we get to the point where we're at a point where it seems like it's the crab in the pot syndrome. Our people, the second that we're doing okay, you have someone that's pulling you down, and it's our people that's pulling us down. It's no one else. We're pulling each other down. We're tearing each other down. We're stabbing each other in the back, and it's so unfortunate because we hurt ourselves, and it's sad. It's absolutely pitiful, and we've got to do better. We've got to do better.
Yeah, and just to reiterate on that, I think that, a lot of times we need things.
Yes.
A lot of times we have walls up and we don't want people to know what we don't need, what our struggle is.
Right.
But I encourage everyone to become a little more transparent. Because a lot of times when you do make people aware, yes, I need somebody to help me with this, or yes, can you I don't have enough money for food, or something of that nature. Reach out,
Right, because as a male,
you never know.
I see sometimes women, they're so hard, they're frowned up, and I wonder why. I mean, what is going on when women are so hard, they're frowned up?
They've been internalizing.
Yeah.
They're internalizing whatever the struggles are that they're going through. They're internalizing whatever it is they have to deal with in life, instead of sitting down, maybe talking it out with someone they trust. They're internalizing it, and they're taking it with them all day, every day. Whoever comes in contact with them, they get hit with whatever it is they're going through.
Right.
They've been hurt. Someone has hurt them. Someone has given. Some have lived in a false sense of reality, and all they're thinking of is, how am I going to feed these kids? Well, they don't know the last time that they've gone out. Some don't know the last time they've been able to buy themselves something. Some don't know the last time they've been able to just relax, and they've been hurt. So you imagine just constantly carrying around hurt, carrying around a burden, and they just don't know. So it's so unfortunate to have to deal with that constantly, all day, every day, and that's the reality of it.
And I just want to piggyback on everything that that these two ladies in the back were speaking about as well. Pride is a very, very common thing, and you're looking at somebody that had to swallow it a long time ago, and it was very, very hard. Like Miss Vanessa said, sometimes we don't want people to know that we're struggling. We don't want people to know what we stood in need of. And sometimes God has to do some things to you, and you have to lose some things in order for him to humble your spirit to understand the things that you're going through. So yes, every struggle that they said, I've been through. See, as I was growing up, my father was in the military. My parents were together. Regardless of what went on in the house, they still were together. And I never lacked for anything. So when you never lack for anything, sometimes you don't know what you're made of. I heard the sister in the back say, I commend you all because I couldn't have done it. But you never know what you can do when your back is against the wall. I understood. I will say that I said it many times before. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. But there's one thing about a sister that I absolutely love. Whenever we are up against something and when we have no other alternatives but to make it happen, or you just fold and die, and we make it happen. We feed our children. We take care of what needs to be taken care of. And I love being who I am, and whose I belong to is the most wonderful thing about it. But yes, I had to swallow those things. So God separated me from my parents and everything that I used to have as security, and he put me in a place so far away from society. I was in Oklahoma, and I had never struggled in my life, so I didn't know what struggle was. I couldn't get a job for an entire year because they said I was overqualified. And if they wanted to give me a job, they tried to pay me minimum wage, but I know my worth that much to know that I have a 4-year degree, and I just can't do it that way. So I had no furniture in my house and no food in my refrigerator, and I had to swallow my pride to go ask for assistance. And when I tell you that was one of the hurtful things, because the government wasn't going to give it to me, because I still, with no job, still made too much. That's right. And I still was confused about that, so I couldn't get assistance from the state. So it's the people in the middle that you can't get assistance from the state because you don't have. You're not lacking enough, but then you're at the point where you don't have enough after you pay your bill. So how is my children going to eat? So I swallowed that bitter pill. I swallowed it, and I asked for assistance, and you guess what? My children ate for a whole year. Bills were paid for a whole year. So what sometimes you got to do what you have to do, and then you find that the people everybody doesn't judge you in your situation.
That's right.
Some people actually do care, and I think we need to start turning back to the people people that don't look at the situation, but look at the actual individual and know that, you know what, that could have been me. That could have been my mother. That could have been my sister. So we just need to go back to that, what they were saying, but you never know what you're made of until you have to be put in a situation. And when you come out of it victorious, I'm telling you, you know at that point there's nothing you can't do.
And I like to add on to that. You know, when I think back about how it was for me when I was a young single parent with 2 children, it was really, really hard because, you know, I didn't finish high school and I didn't have any outside help. I didn't have, like, my family had their own problems. So, you know, it was like I was from from house to house or from going from different places. But, you know, through the struggle, I caught it also from keeping everything inside and not being able to open up and let somebody know that I needed help. And for the few people that did understand and help me, you know, it was a blessing to me because then I was able to open up and let some of the hurt go. I was able to let some of the pain go out my life because until then, I didn't know how to cope with 2 children. I was 20 years old with 2 children, and I didn't know, you know, how to open up to people, how to ask for help. And, you know, once you understand that you're not alone, there's always somebody out there willing to help you and not judge you for what you've been, for what your past. Because a lot of people look at what you don't have. A lot of people look at you for what you did way back 20 years ago or whatever. But I want to say to all the young people and all the people that's struggling with young children right now, just hold on. It's always a way out. Open up. Tell somebody. Open yourself up to somebody giving you an answer to what you might think is a prayer that you've been praying for and don't seem to know how to open the door. Just, is somebody willing to help you?
And a lot of times we will become our biggest burden. We'll hold things on. We'll hold things in. And I know for me, I'm not saying I didn't struggle because God knows I had some struggles pre-husband. So I'm not saying I didn't have that struggle, but I definitely had something that had me laid out where I thought I wasn't going to make it. Where I'm just like, oh my God, and I'm saying that because there's some things where I just held things in from your family, from your friends, and you're like, how am I going to make it? You just like, you know, what am I going to do? And you don't realize, you just don't realize that there are people out there that will help you. There are people out there that you can turn to, but we'll hold it in because of embarrassment, because we're afraid of being judged by other people. We're afraid of what this one is going to say, what that one is going to say. But the reality is that the people that you're worried about, what they're going to say, they can't help you anyway. So why are you worried about them? The ones that's going to help you aren't the ones that's really not going to judge you.
That's true.
So sometimes you just got to let go. You got to move past those people because they're pointless. And you got to move forward, and you've got to just look up and just know that there's somebody there that's going to be there for you, and that's more than likely that's going to be God.
That's true.
And, yes, and also I want to speak about rejection.
Okay.
Rejection is a mean thing. And sometimes you assume so much and it's not true.
That's true.
And I want to speak to the young lady and the women that have grown up in the household with the mother and just no father, and also a poverty mentality. It doesn't matter. I have seen money come, money go.
Right.
And so I want to speak to those who also want to find their comfort in the boyfriend that's a dope dealer, drug dealer. I'm that ex-girlfriend, that ex-dope dealer girlfriend. So I'm used to all type of things.
Right.
But I was never happy. And so it's a group of people, a group of women that don't know where to turn. It's not just the community. They just don't know what to do.
That's true.
Because I was stuck like that, and I always was looking for love. Always looking for love. Always looking for
all
love.
the wrong places.
Always looking for love, due to rejection, due to abandonment. And so when I found love, I thought was love, I didn't know what to do. They didn't give it to me. So I'm reaching out. I'm crying out. So, it's so many that's hurt. It's so many that's suicidal. It's so many just going through so much heartache because they don't know what to do. So even though, it can be the community, but also it can be other people in your family. But what if your whole family got this same mentality? What do you do?
Wow.
So with me... So, but with me, with low self-esteem, all this result to low self-esteem. So you find yourself in situations that you have no business being into. So I'm speaking to the girl that have dealt with date rape, that have dealt with abortions. I have no fear, no shame, because I've been delivered. I've been delivered.
Amen.
So I'm good, and I share my testimony. I share my story. So those that going through the heartache and going through the issues of life and don't know what to do, don't know how to hold on, don't know what it is to pray, don't know the first thing to say.
All right.
So I want to speak to them. I want to speak to you. And I want to let you know that God, I know everybody don't believe. I have nothing to do with that. I'm talking about what happened to me. I am a living epistle. I'm a walking testimony. Because I've been through so much. I know all of us have a story. But at the same time, the only thing that helped me out of my situation was God. And I had to turn to him. And I had to cry out to him. And he told me to leave. I didn't leave. I wasn't just on the corner with nothing. I left for $385,000 home. We was living it up. We was living it up. But was living nothing. I was still lonely, still frustrated, didn't know what to do. Only thing I did was held my hand out. I was selling my soul slowly. I was dying slowly. So I'm speaking to those who, because I said this testimony before. I stood up and said I'm ex-girlfriend or a dope dealer, however you want to put it. And a young lady said to me when it was over, you never know what your testimony will do for someone else.
That's right.
So the young lady said to me, how did you get out? I said, I made a decision. So that's what it's about. It's about a decision. Put away all that stuff, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all are good and look great. But at the same time, your mentality need to change, and that you need something new, that you need something more. So what I'm saying to the women, wake up. And you know what? I've been in Baltimore. I've been in Baltimore from Atlanta, Georgia. And don't you know, every time I say I'm from Atlanta, someone from Baltimore would say to me, why did you come here? Why did you come here? We trying to get out. And that just did something to me. Get out of where? We trying to get out. Why did you come here? And it give me the opportunity to minister. I'm speaking real evangelism, not chapter verse down there, eye gate and ear gate. I'm speaking walking testimony.
That's right.
Because when Jesus went and did his testimony, did his discipling, and he did that, he did it with signs and wonder.
Right, that's right.
So what I say to individual is, this is what he did for me, and he can also do it for you. And so, you know what, I was sharing with John about how the women need to wake up. But look, the women need to wake up.
Take your time.
Okay? The women need to wake up. But when they wake up, what are they waking up to?
Come on.
I know you had a segment about the men need to wake up.
That's right.
Right? You did.
Yeah, that's right.
But what I'm saying is the women need to wake up. But when we wake up, what we waking up to? Are you all prepared, men? Are you all prepared? Have you have it prepared scenario? Sweetie, honey, wake up. I have your clothes laid out for you. Breakfast is ready for you. I'm not talking about in the home. I'm talking about saying they have it already prepared for us. So we wake up, what we waking up to? Are the man already waking? We got to know what to do. We are your help meet. He did not pull me from your back. I'm not your backbone. I'm your rib.
That's right.
The strongest bone.
Talk, ladies.
And with all that being said, when you research the word rib, it means beam. So the only thing I know about a beam is an iron beam. You can't bend it. You can't move it. Can't nothing, no storm can even move it.
That's
a
right.
beam will stay standing. So I want to say to the women, yes, wake up. But also to the man, wake up and prepare the way.
That's
Prepare
right.
the way for us. So when we wake up, we meet each other and collide.
That's right.
We
That's
meet
right.
each
I
other,
like
not
that.
only collide, we connect. So I just want to share that because there's so much going on. And yes, we can talk about what we've been through and all the struggles. We all have been through struggles. But at the same time, what to say to that young lady that's 14 right now and she's pregnant?
Right.
And
right.
she trying to make a decision on having an abortion or not. I can tell you no. I can tell you no, and it should be organizations that can help these sisters.
Yeah,
and
it
so
is.
at the same time, Pursue with Pressure, which is my organization, not trying to.
No, go
plug
ahead,
it,
pump yourself. It's
Pursue
all
with
right.
Pressure, which is my organization. I will come to you. You don't have to come to me. I don't need a building. I want one though.
That's right. Speak.
But
That's
I come
right.
to you. I did this in Atlanta. I did it in Atlanta, and it was successful. And women, and the young girls just pulled out. It was talking about how they've been molested, how they had abortions and drugs. They were just telling deep secrets. You understand? And so I encourage everyone, all of us. We speaking of a community to share yourself. Be selfless.
That's
You
right.
know?
That's right.
Be selfless and not selfish to hold back what it is that he have done for you.
Right,
To
right.
hold back what it is what he have done for you. And so I just ask them when they say, you from Atlanta, Georgia, and why did you come here? We trying to go there. So I know it's a connection with Atlanta and Baltimore.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm asking, get out of where? So that tells me they are in bondage. The people are in bondage. I'm
Right.
speaking of Baltimore.
Right,
The
right.
I'm not. We are airing here in Baltimore, so I'm not talking about Atlanta right now, but it's Baltimore that we are speaking about. Correct?
Right, that's right,
So
that's right.
what I'm saying is they are in bondage, and it's time for us to say and do what it is that we should do to get them out.
Sister-
get them out.
So maybe, because what you just said, women are connected with you right now. Do you have a number that you can give them?
Yes, you can reach me at 404-246-2131.
Can you give that number again a little slower?
Okay, it's I'm sorry, I'm hyped.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay. 404-246-2131.
All right. Before we go any further, ladies, one thing she mentioned, there was a noted series of rapes and molestations happen to our women and young girls that have messed some of their minds up. And, some of them are in some tough situations as a result of that. What can one of you or some of you say to a young lady that's been raped or molested? And I'm going to ask number one, first, I'd like to say this one thing. Please keep no more secrets. But go ahead. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Okay, well, I can because I am she. Yeah, I can. It is really, it comes to destroy you. It mess up your self-esteem. And my situation, I thank God, it was my stepfather. And my stepfather, he attempted to molest me, but I thank God that my mind never ever been my age.
All
You know,
right.
I was 15, and so you can't tell me don't tell my mother.
That's right. That's right.
When you tell me don't tell my mother, I'm telling the whole family.
There you go. That's right.
Which, that's
No
never
secrets.
never keep a secret.
That's
tell,
right.
Tell someone. And the dealing with rape, how I freed myself from that, how God freed me from that, it was because I forgave them. I actually went to them and told them what it did to my life. And I forgave them. I forgave my stepfather. And my mother had passed and gone away. But at the same time, the only thing that happened there, she put him out, but a week later he was back. So just imagine you got to live with this.
Yeah.
You got to live with
And
this.
it's happening. It's really happening so much, Yeah.
And when you talk about rape, you not only sometimes we just talk about it from a physical standpoint, but there's a different type of rape that can happen, psychological rape,
Yes.
things of that nature. And when that happens, as an individual, you can't keep it to yourself.
That's right.
You have to go and you have to seek out some help.
That's right.
So in reference to, women, young girls who are in situations they don't know what to do, seek out a mentor.
Yes.
Everybody should have a mentor. Somebody has crossed their path
Right.
that is a positive person who can influence them in some way. So if you don't know where to go, if you don't have a mentor, go to somebody's church, talk to the pastor, talk to someone in the church, but someone, teacher, someone in your path can be a mentor, and everyone should have a mentor.
Wish I had one.
I have a mentor.
Yes.
Everybody should have a mentor.
That's right. Yes. That's right.
And that's who you should be able to go to confide in that type of
Even if you
situation.
have parents, you still can have a mentor.
Yes.
People believe that, oh, I have a mom, I have a dad, I don't need a mentor. You still can have a mentor. There's still someone else you can talk to or something. You definitely need, I definitely agree with you, definitely having a mentor.
I don't want to leave before we, rape is not the only, and mental is not the only. There is verbal abuse. There is physical abuse. And before we wrap this up, I really wanted to touch those issues because verbal abuse can be very, very impactful to somebody's self-esteem.
Yes.
Ask me because I can tell you. You can look at me now and people may prejudge me and think that, I think that I got it going on, but you don't even know that I let a man tell me that I wasn't beautiful. I let a man tell me that I was overweight. I let someone tell me what I wasn't and I believed it.
Girl, you the
So
bomb.
you're looking at somebody. But no, it's a real issue.
It is.
And you're looking at
It is.
somebody that,
It is.
to all of you might have thought that I thought I was beautiful for a long time. But until recently, I started to love myself.
That's right.
Okay, you got to understand, you have to love, because I had somebody tell me what I wasn't and I believed it. So I wasn't doing my hair when I didn't have a job. I wouldn't even get dressed.
And there's also other forms of abuse. There's financial abuse, there's psychological abuse, there's mental abuse. And the reality is that all of them are forms of domestic violence. Domestic violence is not just when someone's hitting you or punching you. Domestic violence consists of all those abuse and more. So anything about power and control is a form of domestic violence. And if you are experiencing any of those, any type of domestic violence, you need to seek some type of resources, which is, maybe the House of Ruth or any other resources out there that basically deals with domestic violence.
Well, ladies, one second. At this time, we're going to be wrapping up soon, but I must say that, hey, hold on a minute, please. Thank you. You're too kind and beautiful. This young lady, Felicia Barnes, you've seen her. This young lady is missing. And we're going to ask you to continue to look for her. If you know anything about her, please call this number here on the flyer. But also, the Coalition of Concerned Black Men, they also have a number, which is 410-202-1181. That's a group of black men that are concerned and for the safety of children and women. So again, that number for the Coalition of Concerned Black Men is 410-202-1181. So, ladies, listen, we're gonna be wrapping up, and it's been such an awesome time, and you all have wakened some ladies up. We want to give some last remarks. You would go ahead and flow.
I just wanted to say the reason why I wanted to do this taping is because I wanted to be a mentor to help someone, to encourage someone. I'm affiliated with a church, but I like to be a help or a blessing to someone. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to pray with you, if you just need anything, I would like to be a mentor for someone out there. And
do you have a number?
Yeah, my number is area code 443-423-3000.
Can you give it again?
Area code 443-423-3000. And I do also have a email address, and that's Jervel, Jervel 6 @hotmail.com.
And I'd just like to invite you to come to the most powerful church in Baltimore City,
Absolutely.
the Empowerment Temple Church.
Absolutely.
Where Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryan is the pastor. Come and be restored. We're Sunday, 7:30, 9:30, 11:30, 410-225-3494.
Tiffany, want to just share her business with you real fast.
Yes, and any single parents, any individuals, or anyone looking for an opportunity, if you have dreams to be an entrepreneur, you do not have to keep wandering out there. There are affordable businesses that you can be a part of, that are businesses that you are able to make money, and you can network with people. And people will say all the time that I'm not into sales, but you cannot go through life without selling something, whether it's yourself on an interview or something. So when you say you're not into sales, that is absolutely not true, because you sell yourself anytime you get a job. So if you want to contact, I'm involved in an awesome business. It is called 5 Links. It is a network marketing company, and it is a telecom company. We've been listed in magazines such as Your Business From Home that are in Barnes and Nobles and other bookstores as well. And if you would like to contact me for more information on owning your own affordable business that will absolutely position you for generational wealth, please contact me at 609-332-0770. Again, that's 609-332-0770.
Listen, we have Mimi here has a poem she's going to close us out with. Go ahead, Mimi.
Okay, can I please stand?
Sure,
Y'all know
come
I
on,
get
stand
up. This is calling all women of God. I'm calling all women of God. Calling all women of God. Calling all women of God. Come out, get up, come up. We all got a part in the kingdom. There's no one better than no one. We do the birthing and the nourishing. We are all valuable, more precious than rubies. Diamonds are the most popular gem, but the ruby is the most valuable gem because it's unique. And this is how God see us. What's the fuss? We all are the apple of God's eye, of course. I am calling all women of God. Make a stand and know that you are a beautiful star. Come as you are. That's if you qualify to be this woman of God. Those who are married, you are a crown to your husband. Don't make him ashamed. It's the same as rottenness in his bones. Encourage him to be strong. And for those who are single, you got to be God's woman first. And then you're with your chosen husband, you wouldn't have to rehearse. Isn't God powerful? How he created us. Remember, we are a good thing and packed with the favor of God. So know who you are. Don't settle for less. Don't get the first man that comes up to you. God loved us so much that he would tell you who is for you. Don't let that be your main concern. The ways of God you should yearn. You should learn. Women, we truly know who's right and who's wrong. God gave us all the gift to discern. So use it. And after the wedding, you won't be alarmed. Let God choose the one, and don't you worry about that. Get higher in God so your ministry can start. I'm talking about the fullness, women of God. Get up, wake up, come out. Let's love each other and love the kingdom of God. Then we truly can be called a woman of God. Wake up, ladies!
All right, thank you. Peace, we out.